fired Michael Ball. That's the first time he's ever raised his hands on a yes. So that's pretty impressive.
Scare that referee.
Let's talk a little football. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2025 edition of the Press Box. We are so glad you're here. We're so glad we have our cast of usual suspects: Randy Young, Michael Best, Jim Rayburn, Austin Reams.
You got it wrong. That's Michael Young.
Michael Young.
Randy Best.
You know that I'm going to get that.
And Jim Reams.
That's right. Don't insult him like that. Man. Don't do that to
That's
him.
a compliment.
Don't do that to him.
We're back.
Hey,
30
look,
seconds into it.
y'all know, like, for the first time in the history of the show, I got the names right, and now Jim's going to throw me
now
off. He's put it in my mind now.
That's true.
Oh, my goodness. Well, it's kind of still a little bit off-season scrimmages here and there. We've got some of that. We'll talk about that. We'll talk a little bit of college football. Yes, no is it's in the off-season. It showed up to fall camp out of shape, so we got to get yes, no back
Still
in
in
shape.
hibernation.
Yeah, but still some college stuff. We'll talk maybe a little bit about your Ohio State Buckeyes a little bit and their championship run.
When the autumn mix comes out, that's when the yes, no comes out.
That's
Yes,
right.
sir.
That's right. It's
Comes
ready
out-
for the
comes out of
autumn
the
mix.
hole.
Put it right there. I got a good doctor's report yesterday. He said, eat it all.
I
He didn't
bet.
really say that, but I
I'm
felt like
sure
he thought
he did
that.
not.
What's his number? Let me call him.
I felt like that was his intention.
Yeah, you
So I'm
heard that.
good.
You
Yeah.
kind of read between
That's
the
what
two.
I read between the
That's
lines.
kind of like the English Bulldog memes. The Bulldog said, I went to the vet, and he said, I was a beast. and the owner says, no, he said, you were obese.
I was going to say, devil get you for lying as soon as you will steal it, Michael Best. Just say it.
Maybe one of the two main storylines in the offseason for high school football, Georgia high school football. Number one is Buford Stadium, $62 million luxury suite stadium. Looks better than a lot of college football stadiums I've seen.
Probably bigger than the whole city put together.
Yeah, you're probably right.
And it is gorgeous, and
It should be.
Yeah, it should be. I'm not, I'm a capitalist. I love people being successful. That doesn't take anything away from me. And again, Jim points out too that there are stadiums like that in California and Texas,
It's all
everywhere.
over,
So, I'm gonna start with you, Randy. Just kind of your thoughts on it. Like, I don't know. Just kind of give us some context of your thoughts here.
I mean, we are in an age, high school football. I mean, I don't like the fact that this is where we are, but if you're not doing something eye candy wise, if you're not attracting eyes, then somebody else is going to around you, near you, by you. And that's where those eyes are going to start gravitating. I mean, you mentioned something about the transfers. None of us like it.
Yeah.
None of us like it, but that's where it's at. I mean, and Buford knows that. They're right there, surrounded by Gwinnett and DeKalb and all those millions and millions of players. And they want to be able to have folks walk by and go, hey, that's where I want to play.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it, but.
I think it's a good business decision for them, right?
Yeah,
I don't think
yeah,
anybody,
yes.
like if you're on that board or you're there, I don't think it's a.
It's my understanding the city built this too, not the school.
Yep.
Okay,
The
all
city,
right.
It was the city of Buford.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, that's interesting. That changes things a little bit. As
Well, apparently they're going to use it for a lot of different things. It's not going to be just football. I mean, they're going to use it for their Y leagues, rec leagues, and all sorts of stuff. But $62 million, I mean, at some point in time, if I'm on the school board there, I'm looking around going, is there someplace else we can spend a little bit of this? I mean, just something. Anyway,
Buford's always been that way. They built a $7 million field house to help recruit.
Yeah.
They started off as single A and then stayed double A a long time. And if you wasn't an athlete and one wanted to come in, they kicked you out if you wasn't in that district. And so they finally kind of stopped that and started growing. They went to AAA, 4A, 5A, and
Yeah.
then the multiplier thing,
then the
I think, is
multiplier
what
came.
Yeah.
pushed
Now
them over the
they're
top.
they're
Yeah.
7A. Are they? They're
They
in
are,
the
yeah,
highest
they're 7A,
classification.
yeah.
Right?
Well, then you got like Peach County who has Buc-ee's, and my understanding is Buc-ee's gives Peach County almost $1 million a month in tax money to the Board of Education.
I mean, Cairo's got
Most
Mr.
of that.
Chick.
100,000 of that.
Come on.
Well, the way here's the thing. This is where we're at now. Y'all are building a nice indoor facility to keep up with things. Y'all built new schools over there. Everybody's keeping up. We put in 2 brand new paper towel holders in the bathroom. We're trying to keep up too, and I think you got to just stay with everybody, and that's what everybody's doing.
It's about that eye appeal.
They're really
Yeah.
fancy.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Fancy
you're.
paper
Is it
towel
the kind you
holders.
put your hand, just
No,
move your
no.
hand?
Oh, you just have to just go up there and pull it down.
not
and
automatic.
You remember the kind they used to have in the old in the service
loop?
stations?
Yeah, the old wraparound.
We got those now, and it just loops.
Y'all stepped up.
For y'all,
Everybody under 50 years old is going, wait,
for
what
y'all
are they
young
talking
people,
about? Wait, what?
I heard about these. I don't know about these. You talking about the ones that had real towels?
They had real
towels
towels,
in
and
it.
you
loop.
pulled them and
It's
they
in a
looped.
loop.
Yeah.
And eventually you got back to the dirty
But
side,
please,
but
yeah.
you just kept going.
I mean, y'all's immune system. Y'all are gonna live
That's
forever.
right.
if
That's
That's
right.
all we're doing. Hey, we lost the pickle juice, so we got to get something else.
We
going
ate
over
mud
there.
and used those
Yeah.
things at the filling station. So
Oh my gosh.
there you go.
One of the things that may help, and this will be the interesting discussion moving on, is these super teams and super programs. The transfer rule. There's a new transfer rule, and so I think it may help even out. But let's get you guys. Tell me how you really feel over there.
No, let Jim start it now.
Who's going to really enforce it?
And how?
Yeah.
The,
Okay.
the person over this in Georgia high school is not. He's a good guy, but he's not competent. And if you're gonna have to get the parents to.
That wasn't me, by
Somebody
the way.
shooting arrows.
Michael,
It's the
Michael,
first
clarify.
show.
Michael
We're
did
shooting.
not say that.
We're shooting flamethrowers. At
clear.
the first show.
That
It
took
was
him
you.
2 seconds to say.
What did you take offense with?
I just know I'm gonna get blamed somehow.
No, I'm
Just
not
got
talking-
Robin Hines talking to me again. and-
No,
Yeah.
Robert Hines has nothing to do with this. There's another individual.
Well, let's
But-
back up a little bit, and I want to get your take on it. But let's talk about the rule first. So, the supposed rule is that you can't transfer. You can only
move
transfer once.
But when you transfer, you must prove that the electricity is cut off at the home where you were at. Everything's gone, and you must prove that
That your family-
that
Your
your
driver's
family has
license
moved.
has to
Yeah,
have
your
the
driver's
correct new
license
address.
has to change and everything. Well, who's going to check into that?
Yep.
Yeah,
Who-
the enforcement.
nobody,
The enforcement's
nobody.
always the problem.
Unless somebody like the thing between Applin and what's the Bears team over there, Pierce County.
They had some issues.
They had
with
some
that.
issues and turned Applin County in, and
Yeah.
that's why they had to forfeit all their games because something got posted on Facebook, and they. Whoop,
There you go.
Here we go. Now Applin has a new coach, and
But so the bottom line is, like any rule, right? And it doesn't matter where city government, federal government. It's all about enforcement. None of you guys think it's going to be enforced that well?
It's impossible. And I'll tell you, when we visited Langston Hughes, the athletic director there told us flat out, there's so much movement amongst the schools in that metro area. He said, if I'm trying to keep up with who is eligible, who's not, he said, that's all I would do. His words, I don't have time
to do it.
to regulate it the way I probably should. He said, but I can't. I just can't.
There's so much.
But this should be easier because you allow one move.
Well, you would
on the
think, but
second
again,
one you're-
who's checking it, Jim? That's the thing
Yeah.
about it. And how do you verify this stuff? Because you're talking about, okay, you've got to verify a physical address. You're going to drive over there and physically check that? Because you can do a post office box. You can do an apartment, quote unquote, address. And that's a physical address. Somebody's got to physically go and check. That's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen.
I do, one thing that it may help as on into the future, as records and all these things kind of get online. That may help, but I don't think it's going to help in 5 years. But 5 years from now, it will be very easy to verify
You would think.
where people are and all as these kind of things.
Now,
move
give them
forward.
credit,
But
Michael.
tried.
The intent of it, I think, is on the money.
I just don't see it getting enforced.
Well, but I think coaches need to enforce this, guys. I mean,
But
I
they're
know
not
coaches.
going.
They're not going
Very
to.
few coaches are going to turn their
Their buddies in.
Because
It's
they're all
a
benefiting from
fraternity,
it.
and they're not going to turn because they probably got one that's ineligible. Really.
Yeah.
And
But-
that's what we were told
but
too.
realistically-
When everybody's playing the game, nobody's wrong.
Yeah, yeah. And so, to me, if some coaches decide that they don't want to do this and they want to start turning people in, which I think is great. I mean, to me, you're not. We've talked about this a lot, and this is the same thing with college. A kid transferring 3 times, that's not doing this kid any good.
Nope.
I mean, you're not doing that kid any
Well,
good.
the thing is, down here, and we've talked about this 100 times, if a kid moves from Cairo to Thomasville, everybody knows it. If a kid goes from Central to Cairo, I mean, everybody knows it. Kids are going from school to school to school to school to school, and nobody knows it. Langston Hughes has 4 other high schools with at least 1,800 kids within 5 miles of them.
Yeah,
If I'm a
how do you
kid,
keep
if
up
I'm a
with that?
second baseman at Langston Hughes and I hear that Creekside has no second baseman, I'm going to Creekside.
Yeah.
That's a mile closer possibly to my house from where I'm living right now.
Yeah.
There's no way to keep up with that.
Well, take Westover last year, 9-1, made the playoffs.
Great year.
Their quarterback, his brother, have all went to Monroe.
And the Lee County, the running back's going to Lee
running back
County.
went to Lee County.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and that program, you kind of love to see that program on the rise. It had some
And
good.
Lee County gets a quarterback from New York. There's no recruiting there. Milton gets 2 players from Wisconsin. There's no recruiting there.
And a quarterback from Florida, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
But again, no
it's
recruiting.
just not, it's just not sustainable. And like I said, until the coaches have had enough of it,
Yep.
I don't think it's going to change.
But again, to the GHSA's credit, I think they're trying.
Yes.
I think they're
Yeah.
trying.
And they're focusing on the right issues.
Yeah, I
to
get
me,
it.
if you
I mean,
get this right, you can have some really great football and some great community football.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, we all kind of represent, I think, a great tradition of football and community and families,
Homegrown.
which homegrown kind of stuff, which you love to see. I don't want to see it lost. I don't want to see it lost. And
I had a
kind of
veteran
forever.
coach, retired now, say we won't recognize high school football in Georgia in 10 years.
I agree.
It won't
Yeah.
be
You're
what
right.
we have grown up loving.
You're right.
Yeah.
And the fact, too, that Georgia right now is a hotbed of recruiting, that's why you're seeing those kids from Wisconsin and New York and Florida coming, because all eyes are on this state right now recruiting-wise. I mean, more D1 players out of Georgia per capita than any other state in the whole country.
Yeah. It's,
I get it.
And a lot of that is the success of the state of Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
We have very, very good economics, make for good football teams. We have a very
And a
our
priority
state-
on the games.
Yep, paying coaches and teachers well. All that matters. But let's get to football. Let's talk a little bit about our teams. We don't want to necessarily get into like a whole preview. We can do a little bit more of that next week. But let's just talk about kind of what you've seen in the scrimmages. What questions, Michael Best? What questions you guys took care of Irwin County? But what questions do you have? That you got answered, and what do you what
Well, we're
questions do
mighty
you have?
young.
Oh,
And I know sometimes I don't want to get into the negativity of that with you guys this year.
Hey, y'all never get old. They just
But
don't play when they get seniors.
We've got about 90 players and we have 8 seniors.
I'm going to
now.
try to get a sit without
Y'all
spitting this out.
just
y'all are the Bob
y'all
Dylan
take
forever
it from
young,
there.
forever young.
Forever, young,
y'all
every
just
year.
take
Rod
it from
Stewart.
there.
Well,
Okay.
Bob Dylan did it first, and
Okay.
Rod Stewart did it. So yeah.
So anyway, back to football. So our whole offensive line and tight end graduated last year. So we have 5 new right across the front and a tight end that's never played varsity football.
They've never played football before at all.
We just got them in here. And very young. In fact, one of them that we were counting on got hurt, and he's going to be out for a while, so you got a next man up going on. So you got a very young offensive line. We got a brand new quarterback. He's a junior, but he's never played. And he's come in. He was 3rd string, and he's stepped up and he's doing really good. He's getting better and learning what to do. But then we got good skill players around him. I mean, we've got all the Teals are back. We got Zaquavian Teal, we got Jalen Teal, got Justin Teal. They're playing everywhere.
They don't ever graduate.
No,
They're not young.
They're young. They're still young. And then you've got Khalid Perry is a wide out that's really grown over the summer. He's looking pretty good. So you got some of that. Of course, Brian Duncan is back.
Okay, that's the name
Yeah, I was
I was
gonna
looking
say,
at.
He
That's
was
the name
going
I
to
was
leave
looking
him
at.
out like
You're
if-
good.
Not from lack of trying, but
You're good.
he's here.
You're good.
Thank y'all, America. But we got
Thank you, Brian Duncan.
Thank you, Brian Duncan and his
And Mom and
family.
Daddy,
Yes.
yeah.
And Brian is, he got injured last year in the Peach game, and then we find out, later he winds up having an emergency appendectomy surgery, and so he's made a comeback. He played some basketball. He laid out a track just to try to thicken up and gain some weight, and he's gotten, getting back to where he was at. He touched the ball 4 times Friday night, had almost 100 yards and a touchdown, had 1 call back.
Ho hum.
How
How come he didn't get 200 yards? What's wrong with him?
He's played before, though. See, he's different from the other
been
guys.
in-
He's actually played
And
football.
then our defense, for the most part, is all back.
Okay.
They're all back, and they look really good the other night. That's where we're going to hang our hat, I think, is on our defense this year. And our kicker's back, and he last year was his first year, but he'll be a senior. So he's back. So we've got some good skill players, and we've got a pretty good defense.
So-
This junior and senior group, as in middle school, they went undefeated for 2 years and unscored on. So they're a good little group of athletes, but now they're just kind of coming into they're all sophomores now. Most of them are juniors.
So your biggest question, probably offensive line, just
Offensive line,
gelling right there.
Yeah, and the
So,
quarterback.
Gonna
and
be a
again,
theme.
he showed a little quickness, and he's the things the coaches say about him is he's willing to learn, and he wants to be his best, and he's really trying. So we'll
right.
just see. We got another scrimmage game this week because we didn't play a spring scrimmage game, so we could have 2 preseason. So we go play a very tough Worth County. That'll be a good test because Irwin's down.
Yeah.
They graduated a lot of people. So, but I thought we looked good organizational wise. What we were
Yeah.
doing, nobody looked like they were lost, and that's always good. But we play Worth, and Worth's got a great quarterback. That'll definitely test our defense. Last year they outscored us. It was like 55-50 or something. I mean, we just kept
Back and forth.
So we go there to play. So.
All right, that'll be good. What about Thomasville questions and then questions answered here in the preseason?
We've had no scrimmage.
Yeah.
We scrimmage.
You scrimmage coming
We
up to
scrimmaged
Darty.
Darty Friday night at home, and so we really don't know. We lost almost all our offensive line. We've got 2 starters coming back, and one Jose Palacios that played, but he was not a starter. Our center's back. One of our tackles, Caleb Humbert, is back, and other than that, they're all new. The skilled people are all back. Every wide receiver, running back, except for we lost Ann Anderson. That's a big loss at running back. But defensively, we lost the defensive line. We lost 2 linebackers. We got Joe Douglas, the starting middle linebacker, back. They got to put some people around him. Secondary, everybody's back.
Yeah. Should be a really good secondary.
The Walker twins are back and they can fly. They're great corners. Then we got the Williams kid that's the punter and he's a safety. And then of course we got the best athlete on the team, junior Cam's brother.
Yeah.
I can't the last name. I'm old.
Yeah.
Hill,
Yeah,
AJ Hill, they call him Junior. He's the best athlete on the football team. He's the other safety. So defensively, if we can replace those linebackers, we should be kind of like an old Cairo, the Gnats, because we're not very big, but they fly. They fly around. So we'll find out. Of course, Cam Hill, a 4-year starter at quarterback, coming back, and for his
It looks like he's bulked up
he's
and
bulked
he,
up
really
senior year, and he's committed to Mercer.
good deal. Kind of get that over with.
Got
which I think is
that
smart.
over with. So anyway, he'll go up there with Cole Shaw. Other than that, we don't really have a backup quarterback. We got a sophomore and then we got a freshman, my grandson. So please stay healthy, Cam.
Yeah.
I think the sophomore got hurt
Yeah.
in practice yesterday, so we're not sure what's going to go on. I was hoping Cam didn't play much in this game. Of course, he wears a green shirt. Both quarterbacks do, so you can't tackle them. You can touch them down.
Yeah.
That takes away a lot of our offense because Cam's a great running quarterback too. But all the receivers are back. So
Yeah. So
Nigel Pittman is a superstar, and Demario Sawyer, they call him DJ. He's really grown, and he really showed out against Brooks and some of the other teams last year as a sophomore. He's a junior, so.
if you get that offensive line straightened out, looking for a
And
good
the
season, and a lot of teams have offensive line
Got a
issues. That's just where we're
tough
at.
schedule coming up. We open up with Brooks, and then of course go to Pelham. Then we got those guys across the creek, and then we got those
Guys across
guys that come out of the hole
across the
once
town.
come out of a hole once a year, and we got to go out there. So that's the difference in Thomasville and Central, from what I've heard, is the line of scrimmages. Central's got a big offensive line and defensive front. We do not. We got skill, but that's going to limit us. So if we can be 2-2 coming out of the first 4 games and then host Jeff Davis,
as the region schedule gets on.
we'll ought to be all right.
All right. Well, let's go. Speaking of Thomas County Central, let's talk about some. You answered a lot of questions there against Lowndes. Pretty good showing there. What questions do you still have, or let's go with a positive, and then what questions do you still have on this team?
Well, we took a little while to get going. I mean, Lowndes is a pretty good football team, one of the top quarterbacks in the country that has committed to Texas A&M last week. Scoreless at the end of the first quarter. Both teams, you could kind of tell, were just trying to get their sea legs under them. Second quarter, we looked a lot better. Moved the ball real well, played good defense, scored 21 unanswered points, and ended up winning at 28-10. They took a punt return off of the board. Both coaches had decided that there would be no special teams in the second half, which I wasn't really sure what was going on there. But Lowndes had a fourth down and decided to line up and punt, and they did, and we took it about 80 yards. But that's okay. We played well. We ended up with over 400 total yards. The number 2s and number 3s got in and looked really good. Solid. I mean, Central this year's pretty loaded.
Yeah,
I mean, I could sit here and say they're not, but they are. And
Very confident.
they will not be lacking confidence. Got 18 to 22 starters coming back, and 17 guys going into the season with D1 offers. I mean, that's special.
Y'all worked a lot on confidence last year.
Yeah, well, we had to. I mean, we only brought 4 guys back from that state championship team. You have to build some confidence somewhere.
I did a good job.
We did. So,
I feel more confident. Just sitting next to you, I just
well, I'm just trying to
all of a
help.
sudden I feel
It's rubbing off
It's
on
just
you.
rubbing
Yeah.
off. I feel better.
Yeah.
Well, all that youth you guys
Yeah.
need as much
I'm
confidence.
gonna come watch y'all play just so I can
Just come
feel
on.
even better.
That'll
Yeah.
do it right there. Kicking is probably the biggest question mark. I mean, we lost Drew Renault, who's an all-region, second-team All-State kicker, who graduated. And right now we've got Carson Morales, a sophomore, who stepped up. Hayden Morales, who kicked for us a couple of years ago, is his younger brother. Looked really good kicking the ball the other night. Jake Jones came in and punted and did real well. We're having to be creative with the punting game, though, because, again, 2 sophomores kicking there. And Jake, this is his first time punting.
it's
I mean, there's
different.
a lot of pressure.
It's a different one.
So we're doing some different looks with how we're lining up with the punts to try to create a little bit of space for him. But overall, again, we look pretty good and looking forward to getting it going against Monroe next week.
Yeah, and that's the beginning of the season,
Yeah,
right?
that's the
Your
beginning of the
scrimmages
regular
are
season
done.
on the
so-
15th there at the
Okay.
Jackets Nest. Yeah.
Yeah, and probably maybe your questions going in is when you have a team like this. I think let's just be honest. It's a loaded team. They know it. We all know it.
Yeah.
But
Well, you
then
just-
togetherness, right? That's
That
a
will-
big deal of being a team. I think at this point.
The scary part right now, what did Saban used to call it, the rat poison stuff?
Yeah,
about, you
yeah,
know,
it's an issue.
If you think you're as good as you can be right now, you'll never be as good as you could have been. You might want to write that
Man,
down.
that's
pretty deep.
important.
If you think you're as good as you can be, you'll never be as good as you could have been. Because you're going to stop doing what got you there. And you start believing, hey, everybody says we're good, we must be good. Got to show up, be consistent from the beginning of the game all the way to the end, and take care of your business. Now you got an opportunity to prove everybody right. I mean, all this talk, all this hype and everything, I get it. I mean,
Yeah.
I'd be talking too. I mean,
Yeah.
you're talking about a team finished number 4 in the state last year, again, 18 and 22 back, and
Yeah, there we go.
pretty
The
well
bullseye,
stacked.
the bullseye's on
Yeah.
your back. I mean,
So
this just is what it is.
now just go and show that all the hype and everything is deserved and justified.
Yeah. All right. So before we get to college, let's talk just real quickly on schedules and kind of, I know you mentioned it, Jim, a little bit, but just kind of your take on Thomasville's schedule. Always kind of front end loaded with a lot of tough teams early, and then get into region play. Anything anything unique about y'all's schedule this year, or any major changes, or everything's kind of about the same for you guys?
It's the same schedule, but last year we had all the hurricanes and that messed up some.
Gotcha.
But now you have two. You have 2 open weeks. Everybody has 2 open weeks, and then I understand every classification is open at the end of the year. So we play Berrien. We're open. Play Berrien. We're open, and then we got the other open. So 2
Wow.
weeks.
Yeah,
2 weeks
that's-
between games.
And
Right. Of
playoffs.
course, we got used to that last year with the hurricane, but hopefully we won't have those hurricane problems. But we're always front end loaded because we got to play Brooks. That's one of our rivals. We got to play Cairo
Yeah.
because
Whether they want to or not.
that is our rival.
Sorry.
My age group, that is our rival.
Yeah.
And then we got to play Central for money.
Bainbridge is our.
We
Yeah.
got to play we got to play Central for money. Oh, mentioning Bainbridge, our 7th and 8th grade had their jamboree, and the varsity coaches have taken over coaching our middle school now. And they had their jamboree last week, and last year Bainbridge destroyed both our middle school teams, and both our 7th graders tied them 0-0, and our 8th graders beat them 14-0. We're kicking extra points.
Oh, wow.
Hadn't done that at Thomasville ever.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
they're very organized. They get the signals from the sideline just like the varsity. So when they slide in as a 9th grader,
They're ready to
Continuity,
go.
man.
they're
I like
ready
it.
to go.
I like it. Colquitt County's schedule is kind of the same thing, where at the end of their season, there's a lot of open and on and off and kind of stuff,
Yep.
which I don't really. I know you can't help it, but I think that's tough on the players. But Michael Best, anything unique about y'all's schedule this year?
Well, the last 2 years we've chosen not to play a spring game. Some people feel like, spring games are very important. I think they are. But if you don't have a spring game, you can have 2 preseason games. And so we chose the last couple of years to come in with 2 preseason games. They say you get better, after your first game. And so if we can get a couple of games under our belt before we start the season,
That's really good.
That's
Yeah.
what
I like
Y'all
it.
should have some confidence.
And some experience,
Big
Jim.
little confidence.
Yeah.
I don't know. But with a young group like this, we've got 2 preseason games. Then we're open to start the season, and then
Gives them a chance to grow up a little bit.
and then we've got Thomasville Central and Thomasville neck to neck, right back to back, and then we get into the rest of the normal teams.
Yeah.
After
Normal.
that.
You call it Thomasville abnormal because we're so
Both
small.
y'all are different.
Just the radio guys, I think, is
Yes,
is-
yeah. I mean, obviously, that's when you look at our schedule. Those 2, that's a tough
Yeah, they-
way to start the season
Yeah.
because
That's-
they're 2
that's
very,
tough.
very good football teams, and like I said, then you get into some type of normalcy.
Flattery gets you nowhere.
But it is tough that you're starting out with Thomas County Central. That's a
Oh,
toughie.
no doubt. You just want to physically, spiritually, and emotionally survive.
Here we go.
and then
Here
move
we go.
on.
They'll take it easy on you.
That's right.
Because you go in their press box. And
You don't complain about
You rub
anything.
noses with them, and they'll take it
Don't
easy.
complain about anything.
Just begging for mercy. That's
There
all.
we go.
There will be no mercy the following week
Oh.
when we go to the
When my
Jackets
alma
Nest.
mater comes to town, my Bulldogs.
You're coming to our place this
Oh,
time.
that's right. We got to go over there where I graduated.
So you
from.
get to go to the coin toss? Something
I,
like that?
I think they've asked me to come
Absolutely.
on the field.
Is your
before
name
the
going to be
game
on the press box?
Kind
Is
of
it in the
help.
press box?
I'm gonna.
It's down in the
It's-
bathroom.
It's on one of the toilets.
Urinals.
It's in the
Yeah.
stall in the bathroom, 1978.
Real quick, Randy, anything unique? This segment is going to the
dogs.
The dogs quickly, as they all do. But anything quick on your schedule? for the
I think one of the
Jackets?
more interesting stories is at Northside, where Langston Hughes' head coach Daniel Boone Williams comes in and
wow,
takes that
okay.
program over. They've been struggling the last couple of
Yeah.
years, and that area, if there's a light somewhere, all the moths are attracted to
Yeah.
it. So he'll be attracting some folks. In Houston County, I think is going to be an interesting story. They've gone out and beat the bushes and brought in a lot of new guys. And Lee County's Lee County. What Jim
Yep.
mentioned, they've got a quarterback from New York. They got the running back from Westover. They got a linebacker, I think, from over somewhere anywhere else. Anyway, they've done a good job filling their slots.
Well, we're going to do a little bit of college. We're going to take a break. We'll do a little bit of college and celebrate. Jim can celebrate Ohio State's victory. All right, and we're back, and we were going to talk a lot of college football, but I couldn't direct this train here. Believe it or not, we talk a lot on this show, so I know it's amazing.
Shocker.
I guess we'll talk more, and but the main thing, just Ohio State winning it all last year, and now they're ranked up there pretty high. Are you? Congratulations! I call it this year is the year of the gym. Where you've got Texas and Ohio State ranked pretty high. So 1 and 2?
1 and 2, but Ohio State's gonna be down. I know they got some good players, but this is really the
This is Texas
this
year.
is Texas year if they can get past Georgia.
You're an Arch Manning believer.
Well,
Arch Madness.
Arch Madness, yeah.
All right.
Well, they got they're loaded.
He doesn't have to be that good, by the way.
Right.
I mean,
but
the offensive line.
He has something that Quinn Ewers didn't. He can run the football. on it.
Yeah.
And so Ewers was never my favorite, and he was probably the reason Texas didn't beat Ohio State.
All right. Quick thoughts on the dogs before we leave. They're what ranked 4 or 5 somewhere in there. So
We'll see about Gunner.
yeah,
It's
are
all-
you a Gunner believer?
I am. I
right.
saw him take that lick and
Kept on ticking
Yeah.
it.
quit football.
You a believer?
I think he'll be all right. There's enough around him. He doesn't, just like Jim was saying, I mean, he doesn't have, about Arch, he doesn't have to be perfect. He just
Yeah.
needs to be good. And I think he's got that in him.
All right. Very good. Well, that would be
FSU Alabama, too, by the way.
Oh,
Isn't
He
boy,
it?
is,
I know.
he is not spending all his.
do I
I don't
have
know
to
if
talk
he's
about
getting
that?
in-house money,
didn't
but
spend
he
it on
still
vehicles.
He ain't bought a vehicle.
No, that's right.
Yeah.
He's no Lamborghini. It's an
He's
F-150.
a redneck.
He
There
is.
we go.
He sure is.
There we go.
And I'm glad that the quarterback from FSU said that Alabama doesn't have anybody to save them anymore.
I
Just so
know
that's-
that was real.
That was real
brilliant.
bright, wasn't it?
Brilliant. Especially if you've seen, he evidently didn't watch our team last year. So anyway, we'll see you guys next week on the Press Box. Glad to be back.